What's up, everybody? Hope you all been well. Okay, keep it brief today as usual. I had a request from a fellow YouTube subscriber who wanted me to do a vlog on Bitcoins. So I'm going to cover a few points I think that are valid, important, and intelligent, and then I'm going to be done. So, okay, if you don't know what Bitcoins are, basically it's a form of online currency. If you're unfamiliar with it, then do a Google search for the Silk Road case, and that should give you a good idea of what bitcoins are used for. It's related to the Deepweb, uh, a completely different internet, only accessible through other types of browsers. And it's a dangerous place. There's lots of things like shock porn on there and mafia related shit and just shock, lots of shock and horror and drugs and all that shit. But there's at the same time there's also information there. Suppressed technologies and, secret societies, things of that matter. So if you're going to look in the deep web, I suggest you have state of the art optimal security on your computer. You want the best antivirus, anti-spyware, anti-malware, everything. And you want it up to date because there's hackers everywhere. It's crawling with hackers on the deep web. So anyway, getting back to the bitcoins, it's an online currency and it's not really backed by anything other than the illusion of money. It's pretty much just like what the Federal Reserve is doing with the notes, Federal Reserve notes. It's debt-based currency. But with bitcoins, you don't really see the debt aspect of it. And in my opinion, the reason bitcoins were created was because eventually some hackers just got tired of the game. They know the game is rigged. In a world and in a society where the game is rigged from the time you're born until the time you expire, the only way to get by, to get up on the world, is to cheat it. And that's what somebody did. They invented the Bitcoin. And now it's gained more and more popularity, and a lot of people actually use it now for their currency. It's very interesting to me why it's becoming more and more of a popular subject now. It's because people are just plain tired of working with a debt-based currency. Slavery, that's what it is, everybody. You work your whole life and hope that you earn enough Social Security for retirement, which is not going to be there when you retire, of course. Social Security is going to be gone by then. So another aspect I want to cover on the Bitcoins is that they like to buy PayPal accounts and things of that nature. If you're looking to get into it, like I said, you want to be very, very careful because they're going to be watching you and they're going to be watching whatever you do with your Bitcoins. But, what they do that anyway. They're always watching what we're spending, what we're doing. What's the difference? It's uh it's really something how somebody was able to create this and now it's starting to go mainstream more and more. And it's, in many people's opinion, going to be the currency of the future because it's not debt based. It's just ridiculous what the Federal Reserve has become and the banking cartels. I saw an article the other day where it said the Rothschild banking empire is worth like over $100 trillion. Think of that amount of money. That could erase our $20 trillion debt. That could feed and clothe every person within the United States and probably abroad that is, homeless, hungry, uneducated. Give them education. It could fill so many needs. It's just, we've got to get to that point where we say we've had enough. We're done. We've got to do something else. This is not working. The older generation, they're not going to submit. The United States government is not going to stop. They're going to roll in a backup currency, which they're starting to do now slowly, which is also debt based, which also has no backing. You see, there's always a backup system ready to go. It's called secondary protocol in the military world. There's always something in place, another plan. And there's always another plan behind that. And that's how they get away with all this crap. is because even if there was a complete regime change within the United States and we did oust every politician, the people that we're going to elect to replace them, they have to have no ties to these people at all. And that's difficult because in the political world, everybody is bound. Everybody goes by the same rule. We take this label, Democrat, Republican, whatever, and then we're going to work for the same team. But we've got to put on this show for the American people. That's what it boils down to. You have to not only oust the evil and the wickedness and the corruption in your country and your nation, you also have to make sure that the interim government and the people who you elect to replace them are virtuous, honest people who don't have any ties to these people that were ousted. I've seen it happen so many times. The prime example I give everybody is Egypt. I've spoken of it before. Years ago, 3 years ago, Hosni Mubarak was ousted. What happened? They replaced him with another politician. And yes, he had ties to Hamas and etc. and all of that crap over there. And what happened? Egypt fell into chaos again. So, with election time over now, I'm pretty disappointed that Initiative 522 didn't pass in Washington State for labeling GMOs. I mean, I looked at the bill myself, and there are some, problems with it. It's not perfect. And I think whatever legislator designed that bill and that initiative did that on purpose so it wouldn't pass. In our state, we would see all these commercials on TV about I-522. It's bad. No, it'll cause food prices to go up, and it's inaccurate, and it's pretty sad, everyone. I saw it fail in California last year. I had hope for Washington because we did the right thing and legalized marijuana here. I thought we were going to blaze the way for the rest of the nation, but apparently we've still got some work to do in this state. So that's why I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. Continue to spread information, because that's the only tool we have, is to raise awareness and spread information. So a final word on the Bitcoins. I may myself start looking into this and start utilizing this form of currency, because my online sales have just not been enough to help out enough with, bills and shit around here. I don't have the inventory I had when I was working. It's pretty sad, but I come through in a pinch when I have to. But yeah, that's just another reason why I want to look into the Bitcoins, The government is cheating all of us. They're cheating the middle class and the lower class. They really are. So we have to look for some kind of way to, fight back. Fight fire with fire is the old saying. And it's difficult for a lot of people to come to terms with that morally and ethically. But I mean, what progress is being made, everybody? What progress is being made? We're going backwards, and we continue to go backwards as a nation. We should have plasma technology. We should have high hydrogen fuel like the military and the police have. We should have solar power everywhere. We should all have solar power windows. It's absurd, everyone. Something's got to be done. So please help me to continue raising awareness. That's my request for the day. So I'll keep you updated as always until the feds get me or whatever. I love you all very much, and I hope you take care, and I hope you continue to be who you are and do what you do in a righteous and virtuous manner for all of us. Be well.